Manstein had intended to conduct his pursuit with the LSSAH division, but since this unit was no longer under his command, he had to improvise. He formed a scratch motorized unit known as Brigade Ziegler under Oberst Heinz Ziegler, the Chief of Staff of the 42nd Army Corps, to spearhead the pursuit of the defeated Soviet Coastal Army. AOK-11 provided Oberstleutnant Oskar von Bodin's Aufklärungsabteilung 22, Major Vogt's Sturmgeschutzabteilung 190, 2 bicycle-mounted reconnaissance companies, some motorized flak guns, and the Army-level Panzerjäger Abteilung 560, equipped with 3.7 centimeter pack. But AOK-11 was surprisingly short of trucks due to heavy losses from Soviet air and artillery attacks in the crowded Perekop Isthmus. Instead, a good portion of the ad hoc brigade was composed of Romanian motorized cavalrymen from Colonel Radu Cornei's 6th Motorized Rosiori Regiment. Cornei was one of the few Romanian tactical leaders who had impressed the Germans in the early stages of Operation Barbarossa, and he was known for aggressive and rapid advances. Ziegler was instructed to push hard on Petrov's heels in an effort to keep the Germans on the run so that they did not stop to form a new line of resistance. But he clearly would not be able to capture a city such as Sevastopol with 2,000 lightly equipped motorized troops. Once the Soviets were clearly withdrawing, Manstein reorganized and retasked the component formations of AOK-11. General der Infanterie Hans von Salmuth's 30th Army Corps, 22nd and 72nd Infanteriedivisionen, would clear the Sivas coast and push toward Jankoi. Hansen's battered 54th Army Corps, 50th and 132nd Infanteriedivisionen, and Brigade Ziegler would first clear the port of Yevpatoria, then head for Sevastopol. And Generalleutnant Hans Graf von Sponeck's 42nd Army Corps, 46th, 73rd, and 170th Infanteriedivisionen, would pursue the 51st Army toward Feodosia and Kerch. Salmuth formed his own ad hoc motorized unit under Major Robert Pretz, commander of Pionier Bataillon 22, to lead his pursuit. Kampfgruppe Pretz consisted of pioneers, light flak, and Panzerjägers. Manstein was also provided the Romanian Mountain Corps, but its forces were screening the north side of the Chongar Peninsula and were not in a position to aid a rapid pursuit into the Crimea. Petrov's Coastal Army fell back toward Yevpatoria with the 25th, 95th, and 321st Rifle Divisions. There were 2 main roads heading south from the Perekop, the road to Yevpatoria and the road to Simferopol. Petrov split his 3 rifle divisions between these 2 routes and ordered the 42nd Cavalry Division to act as rearguard and covering force. However, the Soviet units had few motorized vehicles and initially tried to conduct a slow fighting withdrawal. One of only 4 T-34 tanks still operational, commanded by S. Borisov, conducted a single-tank delaying action, pausing to ambush the German advance units before retreating some more. Setting out from Mishun, Brigade Ziegler managed to get past Petrov's ineffectual cavalry screens and not only get between the 2 roads on which Petrov's troops were traveling, but get ahead of them by the end of October 29th. Once past Petrov's troops, Ziegler's mixed German-Romanian force boldly pushed on to the outskirts of Simferopol on October 30th, meeting negligible resistance. The main Soviet command post, known as Red Cave, had already been abandoned. The armored train Voikovets tried to fight a mobile rearguard action, but was caught by Luftwaffe bombers in the Simferopol rail yard and knocked out. The 54th Army Corps was also force-marching southward, shoving Petrov's small rearguard forces out of the way. Petrov continued marching slowly toward Simferopol, but was isolated and in danger of encirclement. If Manstein had had the LSSAH division, the Coastal Army would have been pinned against the coast and destroyed. Yet German newsreels were already calling this the victory march in the Crimea, with the attitude that all that was left were mop-up actions. Meanwhile, Batov's broken 51st Army retreated toward the rail intersection at Jankoi, where they hoped to link up with the 276th Rifle Division, which had been guarding the south side of the Chongar Peninsula. Although Batov tried